Hi everyone, my name is Meredith Horsford. I'm the Executive Director of the Dyckman Farmhouse Museum located in Upper Manhattan. It has been quite some time since this house has seen a major capital renovation. I believe it was the 1990s when the last project took place.
My name is Derek Danderin. I'm the Deputy Director of Historic Houses for the New York City Parks Department. In 1916, the New York City Parks Department acquired this property. The Dyckman Farmhouse, situated here on its original location since the 1700s, used to have an addition right here on the north side. It was constructed in 1835 and it was demolished by the New York City Parks Department in approximately 1923. In 1923, the preservation philosophy was a little bit different. They were more focusing on preservation of historic buildings prior to 1800. At that point in time, the addition on the north side wasn't even 100 years old. Now today in preservation, historic preservation, we really focus on preserving change over time.
I think that this project will have a really great impact on the visitor experience at the museum by providing, for one, ADA compliant restrooms, which I think will be really useful, especially once we have the ADA compliant ramp onto the property.
A major component of this project is to create a sustainable design where we can use sustainable materials in reconstructing the 1835 addition, as well as providing sustainable mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems so that the building can operate at a more efficient and sustainable level.
I also think that this will really help us with our programming and that way that the visitors engage with the museum. We have a project right now which will be ongoing, which involves research on the people who were enslaved and freed who lived on the property by creating a space in what we now know to be the oldest portion of the house, which is our caretaker apartment. And by using that as museum space, I think that that will really help the visitor experience quite a bit.
We're not just going to be focusing on the 1835 addition, we're also going to be focusing on the historic building itself. The wood shingle roof is in a highly deteriorated state. This will get a brand new wood shingle roof, which will last another 30 to 45 years if it's maintained. The current roof was installed in approximately 1995, and it has survived its time. But it is at the end of its life expectancy. We're also going to be replacing deteriorated siding and completely restoring the exterior of the building. That includes painting, scraping, wood Dutchman repairs, as well as epoxy consolidation, and really trying to keep the historic character of the building.
The Dyckman Farmhouse Museum Alliance Board and myself as the executive director have developed a really great relationship with our elected officials over the last 6 years that I've been here at the museum. And so we basically met with those elected officials and explained to them some of our issues. Both City Council member Udonis Rodriguez and Borough President Gail Brewer were happy to contribute to this large project.
One of the unique things about the Dyckman Farmhouse is that the collection of the building is actually owned by the city. It's one of the very few buildings in the Historic House Trust collection that the actual collection is owned by the city. That means that the Historic House Trust and the City of New York are tasked with protecting and providing expertise for the future care of its collection. Another major component to this project is to resurface the Bolton papers. Bolton was an amateur archaeologist who surveyed the neighborhood as well as the site in the early 1920s. Inside the building, we actually have many of the artifacts that were actually discovered during that time, and the site has been extensively surveyed by archaeologists over the past 100 years. Part of this project would be to re-examine the Bolton papers and to also perform a large intensive archaeological study of the site, as well as the location of the 1835 addition. We have no clue what could possibly be underneath the soil there.
I think that moving forward, really tackling the landscape would be a challenge and an exciting challenge for us here at the museum. The Dykmans used to farm about 250 acres of land, and we are now on a half of an acre of New York City parkland. Doing more to enhance the landscape so that we can create additional programming space would be really fantastic for the museum.
Due to the extensive work that we have to perform on site, the site is going to be closed to the public for a period of time, in excess of 12 to 18 months. But we're so excited to have everyone come and see the new addition and all the work that we performed over the past couple of years.